What up, what up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So we checking in here today and we gonna talk about some of these current topics that have been making its way through hip hop, man, as we usually do. Now, of course, I'm gonna bring on a few guests to double down on some of these points and talk about a lot of these things that's happening out here in hip hop. But first, man, you know, it wouldn't be right unless I brought this thing in the right way, man. So let's kick that intro. All right. You are now rocking with the best. No, I'm joking, man. What up, man? What up, everybody, man? So today, I wanted to talk about a couple of things, man. First, I wanted to talk about Charleston White and this video that's circulating around the whole Boosie topic. Now, for those of you who don't know, Boosie went viral recently because he signed a plea deal, right? Now, this is a post that he put out to let the world know that he had signed his plea deal and that he had eventually wanted to get this thing in his past. He wanted to get over this whole case that's been over his head. Bruh. Now, Boosie has been dealing with a lot because, you know, ever since I want to say 2023, he's been dealing with this federal weapons case where he ended up getting caught on live stream with what looked like a weapon, and it ended up having him being arrested and charged federally for the crime. Now, Boosie is no stranger to the law, so a lot of this is weighing heavily on him because he thought he had passed that chapter in his life. You know, he thought he was in the legacy years of his career, where he had finally become one of those artists who could kick back, do shows, do weddings. You see him performing everywhere. He's got a strong fan base, and he could reap the benefits of all the hard work that he had put in over the years, right? Bruh. Well, fate had a different idea for Boosie. So it looked like he got caught up in this federal, well, I hate to say, I don't hate to say because it was federal. He got this federal complaint against him and ended up having to do time. And it was all because of this live right here. I want you guys to look at this picture right here. Oops. Let's bring that up some. All because of this live right here, man. Now, as you can see in this news article from the Advocate out there in Louisiana, man, and I believe their home base is Baton Rouge, but don't hold me to that. It says in a criminal complaint, ATF agents say that on May 6th, an officer with the San Diego Police Department was reviewing the Instagram story of a known member of the neighborhood Crip gang. So, you know, the neighborhood Crips is been familiar, or I should say polarized, not polarized. That's the bad word. What can I say, man? It's been pretty much made famous by the fact that Nipsey Hussle, you know, neighborhood Nip, put that out there, right? So obviously this is a set based in San Diego, and they're saying that the police, they were monitoring one of the Crip gang, the neighborhood Crip gang members out there in San Diego when they ran across this video on his live. Now, what did we learn here today, ladies and gentlemen? Bruh. What did we learn? The police are out here looking at your lives, man. I don't know what it's going to take for us to tell y'all, man, stop doing stupid stuff on live and that the police are looking at your lives. But, bruh, they're looking at your lives. Like, this is I had OTMZ, we did an interview, he talked about his case, his gun case, and where he said the police were looking at his lives and whatnot, right? And he let it be known that, yeah, when I went to court, they said, yeah, man, we had been looking at all your shows, man, to build up this case against you, to get this knowledge about you, you know what I mean? So obviously they were looking at this Crip gang members live, and then they ran into what they thought was, man, they lucky day. They ended up finding Boosie on the live with what looks like a weapon in his back pocket or in the back of his hip. Somebody said he was holding it old school gangster style. You know what I'm saying? As for real, that's the barbecue I got my piece on me type of stance. You feel what I'm saying? But it continues by saying the video showed Hatch, aka Boosie, in the backyard of a house recording a music video with a handgun in his waistband.
Stop it. Get some help.
At the same time, Hatch, aka Boosie, was hosting an Instagram live that confirmed his location in San Diego with a street sign in the background, an area associated with the neighborhood Crip gang. It's a criminal street gang, the complaint states. So I added a little extra in there, but y'all rocking with me. An SDPD helicopter found Lil Boosie at 3 p.m. that day in an area of the 49th and Gaiman Street in San Diego, entering the rear passenger seat of a black Mercedes SUV. Right, nice, right? The complaint says patrol officers later pulled the SUV over for a traffic stop after the driver failed to stop at the red light, officers said. So it looks like, man, the usual tactic, right? You get caught up with the traffic stop as a way to pull you over, because what they really want to pull you over is that gun that they seen you have in your waistband on the live when they were doing their investigative work on this criminal, or I hate to say criminal, on this street gang member, this alleged street gang member, man. And Boosie fell a victim to that, man. He ends up getting arrested. He goes to trial. He thinks it's going to be a state charge. They tell him he can go. And just like they did with Crip Mac, boom, the feds swoop in and arrest him immediately and say, hey, man, we taking you up on federal charges. And that's where we are today. So he's been fighting back and forth since then. I think this first happened in 2023, 2024, something like that. And he's been fighting it ever since, man. He's been carrying on, making money, doing interviews, but it's obviously been weighing heavily in the back of his head. Now, this is the post that he just put out a few days ago. It says, just accepted a plea from the federal government on my gun case. I thought this case was over. I was going to get on with my life, but God don't make mistakes. And I'm tired of fighting. He said that like he was tired. Anybody else feel that? You know what I'm saying? Let me stop. I know that laugh is loud, so let me quit. Now, he continues by saying, talk to my family. In this is the right decision, 100. To all my fans across the world, say a prayer for your boy and go get the new album. I feel it, man, on that promotion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Hashtag words of a real one and the prayer emoji. All right, so I put that out a couple of days, and everybody's been commenting on it. I talked about it on the last live where I talked about Boosie. You can tell about it. You can go check that live out if you want, but you can see his face clearly in the thumbnail, right? And people have been discussing it. And the crazy part about it is, you know, there's been a lot of debate going on about what's going to happen to Boosie, how many years he's going to do. But people are at the, you know, they feel like he's been out of trouble for so long, even though he does have a crazy, crazy back history. And I've seen people who have gone through the feds talking about, you know, how the feds do it on a point system. Everything is real calculated or whatnot, what they do. But, you know, after really thinking about his past charges, the death row sentence and all that, I don't know, man. I was saying, man, maybe like a year or something. I don't know, because, you know, you see Crip Mac's situation, and he had been caught a case before, and I hate to, you know, throw Crip Mac into this because we're going to talk about something about that later. But regardless, you know, he got a decent sentence. You know, it doesn't look like, you know, it was life-changing. Don't get me wrong, because anytime you got to do some time, it's life-changing. But it wasn't as bad as we had expected. So with Boosie, we were hoping for the best, right? Somebody who a clip has recently gone viral about, and who might not be hoping the best for Boosie in this situation, is a guy by the name of Charleston White. Now, Charleston White is one of these I don't even want to call him prolific. He's actually one of these controversial figures in the hip hop scene. I had an opportunity to interview the gentleman, man, but he's sharp as a knife, man. He's I want to say he's swift as a that's a bad analogy, man. You know, I don't want to get canceled, but he's a very sharp individual, smart, man. He just plays a role to where you gonna, I don't know, a lot of the Dallas guys, they're real good at that. It's like they got oil bearing type of smarts in their DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's real smart about how he uses words, how he does things, and how he's risen in this whole social media game. But a post that he had made is making its rounds, and a lot of people are attributing this to him wishing the worst for Boosie. So, man, let's actually take a look at this post that everybody is talking about with Charleston White, man. And y'all do me a favor. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And those who already have, you know you the real MVP. You know what I mean? All right, so man, let's look at this video. Get this to come up. This one's short. My bad, y'all. I thought I had that ready, man. So let's try the other video, the not so short one, of Charleston White talking about Boosie. We're probably gonna have to get to that when we get to talking to my guest, because I want you guys to get all of this. Here we go. Now with that, man, since my video want to act up, man, y'all do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing cracking.
I knew they was gonna come. I knew they were gonna come when you caught that pistola, got caught with that Roscoe. I knew they caught you with that raggedy Roscoe. I said, okay, time is ticking.
Now that's the first clip that I wanted to show y'all where Charleston White was basically talking about, you know, Boosie when he got arrested, man. And he said he knew his time was coming. Basically that he had prophesized the fact that Boosie was going down for something, man. And his whole reasoning behind that was the fact that Boosie tends to glamorize and glorify the street element of life, or the street element of hip hop and the gangsterism. You know what I mean? He's really a proponent of sticking to the street code. We've seen Boosie on numerous times tell people that they were in the wrong for snitching and all sorts of things. And
TV is the feds. He ain't got me locked up. Remember, Boosie, you said that. If Vlad is the fed, why he ain't got me locked up? You got what you asked for, nigga. You got what you asked for, nigga. Now, God can also give you what you...
My bad, I cut myself off. You know, technology sometimes. But anyways, like I was saying, Charleston White has always been at odds with Boosie because of Boosie's love and glamorization of the street life. Boosie is one of those cats that puts the street life out there on the pedestal and makes it almost encouraging for somebody to, you know, want to get into that life. Even though he doesn't encourage the street life or tell people to live that life, he does admit that if you sign up for that life, there's certain rules and regulations and guidelines you need to be standing by. And it's a weird situation with that, because when it comes to Boosie, it's wild because it's wild to see somebody who still stands tall on those rules these days. Because since Charleston White blew up, we've seen KSOO, we've seen OTF Vonni's dad, which we're gonna get to later. We've seen all these things where a lot of older guys are starting to crumble when it comes to these street rules, street politics, and what the rules of the streets should be. Now me, I ain't a street guy, so I don't have a dog in the fight, man. I just watch this as entertainment like the rest of y'all, and then I drop what I feel like on social media to commentate. But Charleston White and Boosie, they're like two heavyweight boxers. They've been going back and forth on this thing, and it seems like there's no end in sight. So man, let's actually play the clip I was gonna play earlier, man, and see what you guys' take on it. Oh yeah, shout your cities out in the chat, man. Get that chat moving. Let's get things going. Like I said, I got some guests coming on later, but first I want to give my breakdown of some of these topics.
You want to be a hero to the streets. You want to be a hero to the ghetto. You want to be a street prophet. So God need a Daniel. God need a Daniel, Boosie. And who better to play Daniel than you? Remember, Daniel had to go in the lions then, nigga, and show everybody that God is real and he don't get ate up by the lions. Nigga, God done chose you to play Daniel for us, Boosie. Since you so motherfucking gangster, and you got all these gangster codes and ethics. Nigga, put your suit on like Millie Mayer, nigga. Go in that fucking ass, cause you about to be sentenced. Now, when the
Now, this is the thing. He gets under people's skin, especially people who still like Boosie believe in the street code, who still like Boosie feel like there's some honor amongst thieves, you know what I mean? And to a point, most people, this is why gangster movies are so good, in my opinion. This is all opinion-based, you know? I'm no sociologist, I'm no psychologist, I'm nothing of that nature. But why are some of the greatest movies in the world gangster movies? You know what I mean? I think we have an infatuation with gangsters as a society and as the world. And I think that has always been a thing, you know? Even the hero in most olden stories was gangster. You know, he killed the dragon. He did something gangster, you know? Some remarkable feat, you know what I mean? And it's either the part about it that somebody is coming from nothing to something, or something about somebody who really has a code that they stick to, that they're not willing to bend or break on, no matter the circumstances. You know what I mean? That boy spitting that hot fire, boy. I felt like I was delivering the work. Let me stop, man. But I think that's really, really, really what it comes down to in our infatuation with gangsters. And I don't think that's going to go anywhere. But what Charleston White does, which is genius, is he found a space to be anti-gangster while also having the appearance, mannerisms, and a lot of the things people see in gangsters. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of relate to it, man. It's an interesting blend of what he does on social media, man. And his back and forth with Boosie is really almost a one-sided beef in the beginning, but it looks like, man, Charleston White is starting to, you know, go so far up that it's hard to ignore him, even for somebody as well established as a Boosie. You know what I mean?
Feds come, they don't just come just to be help. I made a mistake. Now, when the feds show up, they done dotted their I's, crossed their T's, and they know they got you. So here's the thing, Jack. You get to be a model gangster for the babies. And they'll get to see, nigga, how gangsters deteriorate as time progresses and go on. We already know this gangster got a diabetes problem. He's gonna deteriorate fast.
That's wild to think about, man. Like everything you think about, you know, being a gangster, man, usually it has to do with somebody being young, somebody being youthful, you know, somebody with their whole life ahead of them. But when you're in that age where Boosie, I believe Boosie's 42, he's kind of, you know, I'm not calling him old, but he's definitely in that age where he's at the part of his career where he's a legacy act and, you know, kind of like an OG. You know, he's an unk, he's an OG or whatnot. Charleston White is, you know, oddly enough, in that same category, but choosing a different lane. So his ideology in this is we're going to see a gangster actually go through something to where he, you know, deteriorates, and it'll sway people from wanting to be gangsters. Now, being a gangster and idolizing gangsters are two separate things. You know what I mean? Bruh. And I don't think we'll ever be in a situation in society where people don't look at gangsters or gangster stories with some sort of entertainment. Because let's be real, we here for entertainment. We watch this, we listen to the music because it's entertaining. Rap stories with gangster elements, with a gangster element to them, are far more entertaining than some others. You know what I mean? Now, okay, hold up. Bruh. Don't think I'm encouraging anybody to get in the streets. And don't think that I'm encouraging anybody to make gangster music and that's what you ain't about. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is there's an entertainment value to a lot of that. You know, despite what we think or what we want to say, there's definitely some entertainment value to that. But as long as you can view that as entertainment, I don't think anything's wrong with it. The problem comes when people can't just view it as entertainment and they start to incorporate that into their real life when it ain't them. You know what I mean? All right, man, let's stop, man. I ain't on no pulpit, but let's get more into this topic. So Charleston White, that clip drops, right? A lot of people started to run with it and say that, yo, Charleston White is out here bad, man. First we had the situation with him and Gillie, and now he's back messing with Boosie. And it almost feels like he's picking on Boosie when really, in all reality, man, Boosie is the star. Boosie is the person who's really out here in this music industry. And Charleston White is a commentator, a comedian, an actor, a very talented individual. But, you know, now it seems like they're getting more and more on a level playing field is what I'm saying. With that being said, let's go to this other battle that he's been having recently in social media that's got people upset, man, and kind of builds to the narrative that is there a possibility that Charleston White could actually lose a battle? Because Gillie, one of the hottest podcasts in hip hop right now, $1 million worth of game. Love the name, you know what I'm saying? But Gillie, probably not, I can't say he's the most vocal one, but he's the guy with the most cred in hip hop. He was the guy that basically, you know, the podcast was kind of built off of some of his accomplishments and his relationship with Wallow. Even though Wallow adds a different aspect to the podcast game and his advice on life. You know, it's different because he did all that time, 20 years, I believe, behind prison. And Gillie, he was out here in the rap game, writing songs for Lil Wayne, Cash Money. He had his own rap group that he signed out of Philly with. He's just being a part of the hip hop game, but he still carries a little bit of that gangster persona. Now, recently, he went through a hardship, a tragedy, where he lost his son. Oddly enough, the guy who took his son's life ended up being involved with a gang, or the gang that took his son's life was a basketball player who was also being a drill rapper. It was such a odd, interwoven story that it took everybody by the back of their seat, like, what in the world's going on here? All of these elements shouldn't be able to align and be with the same. Now, with that, most of social media said their condolences or whatever, but Charleston White and Gillie, they went back and forth because, you know, Charleston White had his opinions on some things that Gillie had said about him. So, man, let's get to that, because I think Charleston White in this clip does a good job of talking about what's the crux of their beef.
Get him. Got a tag on his toe. My boy still clipping his toenail. It's different between my boy and your boy. It's different between me and you.
You interviewed a nigga on your platform who ain't nobody, and he got on there and talked about Deion Sanders, Beyonce, Jay-Z, a bunch of... Come on, man.
You say I'm a nobody. Your son a nobody now, nigga. I'm a human.
Now, you see, in this situation, it feels like Charleston White is just clapping back. He's basically saying that, yo, man, you didn't came at me, so now I'm coming at you. I'm coming right back at you with this situation, man, because you put my name in the situation. Well, you didn't put my name out there, but it was obvious you were dissing me, Gillie.
I'm not a dead corpse like a cheese is, nigga. I'm a living, breathing human with a throbbing, thumping dick, nigga.
Now, this is the part where we get to the controversy of Charleston White, right? Because for all intents and purposes, Gillie losing his son to the streets when he's a millionaire, paid, and I don't know his exact pockets. I've heard rumors and reports about how much that they made from their deal with Barstool. But you're successful. You made a success out of your life. And to lose your son in a situation like that is very tragic, bruh. And for Charleston White to diss him, you know what I'm saying, and use that as a part of his diss, it hits hard, man. A lot of people take it a bad way. But the way that he describes what happened and puts it into his diss is it's sent like a weapon. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of can't argue with the logic, even though I don't agree with it.
And still fought, nigga. Yeah, and burping. Yeah, your boy is nobody, nigga. So you got me confused with your toe tag boy. They left the boy with a hump in the ground. And you got the nerve to have a mouth like you a nigga to put a hump in your boy. Man, please. Yeah. No. Yeah. You know what? I know it's still a void there. And I'm finna tell you some real shit, Gillie. You know why you don't like me? Cause your boy was playing gangster. Look at him. Got a tag on his toe. My boy still clipping his toenail. It's different between my boy and your boy. It's different between me and you.
All right, enough of that, man. My bad. I know, man, that's tough to hear, man. You know what I'm saying? It seems very cold when you hear it played out like that. But that's the beef that actually got him dragged back into the mainstream, or back into these circles where you heard Gillie diss him. And I'll play this part where Gillie kind of drug him back into it, where Gillie disses Charleston White, and then a lot of people piggybacked on that and responded. You know what I mean?
You interviewed a nigga on your platform who ain't nobody, and he got on there and talked about Deion Sanders, Beyonce, Jay-Z, a bunch of... Come on, man.
Now, this is the crazy part. With what Gillie said in that diss, he was actually going at Cam Newton. So his beef was with Cam Newton, but without even saying Charleston White's name, Charleston White picked up on that and just went at him. You know what I'm saying? So he's I'm telling you, man, he's one of them dudes you just can't go at or mess with. And that's why I got the poll going right there this morning, where I asked the question. And I need y'all to vote, man. Vote in that poll. Let me know. Tell me something in the chat. Is Charleston White beatable, man? Is Charleston White still undefeated, I should say, man? Because beatable really isn't a word. But Charleston White seems to be doing nothing but collecting collecting W's ever since he stepped into this hip-hop social media space. And I don't see that dying anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I should say, we'll leave it alone. But y'all definitely, man, definitely vote in that poll right there. I'd love to get y'all opinions on that, man. Now, before we slide off and talk a little bit more about this Charleston White Boosie situation, I wanted to talk about this, man. Now, this is a big story out there, and this is about a rapper by the name of Sheff G. Now, Sheff G is a rapper from Brooklyn, New York, I believe, but he's one of the more successful drill rappers that you might not have heard of. You know what I mean? Sheff G is interesting because his career is one of those careers that's silent but deadly, I like to say. You know what I mean? Sheff G is actually out here collecting wins, and most people don't know. You know what I mean? Because him and his man Sleepy Hollow, they've been putting numbers on the board. They've actually been able to amass a decent, you know what I mean, a decent following and get some gold and platinum plaques under their belt out here. But Sheff G, man, ended up going to jail for a shooting, or excuse me, it started off as what looked like a RICO indictment. It ended up being Sheff G and his homeboys getting caught up in this whole situation with some cats who they were beefing with. Now, it's a whole big thing about the gangs that are involved, and I hate to harp on that, but it wouldn't be right to tell the story without saying that, you know, Sheff G allegedly is a Crip, same with Sleepy Hollow, and they got this whole Crip alliance where it's one Crip gang, I don't want to say the name, and another gang that goes by the name of Nine, right? Now, in this situation, they found themselves in a back and forth where people were losing their life and getting bodied, man. Like, no joke, getting bodied. Like, and Sheff G ended up being one of the guys that made it out, well, that ended up being arrested in this racketeering situation, right? So, I gave y'all a little prelude to that. Let's see if it want to work, man. I swear I spot test all this stuff before, but, you know, when things are going, things are going. So I want to go here. There we go. Like I said, some of you might be scratching your head like, whoa, who's Sheff G? You know what I'm saying? But when I say he's got a good fan base, a solid fan base in the drill rap movement, he's one of those names that really runs up. Currently, Sheff G is out. He's been fighting this case, and finally, I think they came to a deal. And he's going to be facing some time. I think it's like 5 years or something like that. But can't stop them ads, can you? You know what I mean? But as you've seen, so Sheff G was explaining that he was on his final tour before going to jail. Now, what's driving a lot of the controversy is a lot of people are saying online that they feel like his case should be thrown out, and that there's a situation where there was some evidence that wasn't correct or something like that. But for all intents and purposes, man, Sheff G was already, you know, found guilty in basically being the leader of this gang. Now, this Crip gang has been going back and forth with the folks in Brooklyn forever. And I know some of you be like, hold up, isn't that a Chicago gang? Nah, there's actually folks in Brooklyn. There's several rappers who are affiliated with them. And there's been a back and forth. One attack happened outside of a courthouse. A lot going on, man. Like, once New York
Williams in May 2023 time is about to begin. This is video of Michael Sheff G. Williams.
My bad. This is the continuation of the news story. Before we get back to that, I just want to give y'all a little bit. But once New York got into the drill rap movement, it's like it spawned into its own thing, its own ecosystem. If you look at their drill pages, they've got so many people commenting because New York is a huge place. It's like the biggest city in the world. You know what I mean? You know, debatable, but you feel me? So in each borough, they got so many people, man, and they have such a big following that they make these instant stars that other people in the country probably. So yeah, they built this task force to go after Sheff G, but he had caught a case in 2021. And when I was reading this, it was an article from the New York Post, and basically since that case in 2021, they already were on him. It wasn't even like the hip hop cops. It was like regular police task force was already looking at him from 2021 when he caught this gun case because of his homeboy or somebody in the car was reckless driving, right? So there was a reckless driving pullover, and once they pulled him over, they seen the weapon. He ended up getting arrested. He had already signed his deal or whatnot, and ever since then, they've been on him. So in the case, it was put out there that he actually was funding a lot of the activity that was going on, because as his stardom grew in the hip-hop game and in the rap game, he was basically taking, like, guys are going on shootouts, and Sheff G would take him out to dinner, like at these fancy Manhattan restaurants or whatever, because he had the bag, he had the money, he was going up in the rap game. And that was the case that they laid, out there for the courts. And in this, you hear it was like a 4-year investigation going forth. So that's why it looks like, well, 4 years they've been looking at him, we barely know who he is. Yeah, man, it started all with that one arrest called Ops. Lisa Evers giving y'all the real out here, you know. So basically they're saying that he was out there putting out hits, you know what I'm saying, or putting the bag on people's head, you know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
I ain't saying it, they saying it, but Sheff G, man, was active in the rap game and active in them streets is what they're alleging.
Sheff shot
actually being labeled as the head in this situation, right? People have lost their lives or whatever, and y'all heard that. He got 5 years with 5 years probation, right? So it looks like he'll probably do a year, I think she said, or something like that, with 5 years probation. Now, we know with any of these RICO cases and stuff like that, it's usually the boss that gets the big time. In Sheff G's situation, it looks like it's the opposite, because the judge showed him some leniency because he knows that he wasn't the one who was actually in them streets shooting them guns. Even though he was putting out texts talking about we need a big one and all that. But this goes back to a time in Sheff G's rap career where I was perplexed about something with him and Sleepy Hollow. Remember they got all political, and I don't do politics, so don't ask me none of that. But remember they got all political like a couple of months ago or whatnot, or a year ago, I want to say, hint, hint. But oh man, let me stop. But yo, but I'm saying, dude got all political, and now he got one of the most favorable deals in a RICO I ever seen. You know what I mean? When there's people who lost their lives. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? All right, let's continue.
message. And then like,
Now, that is shocking. Should nobody be out there at 12 years old gangbanging? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be jumping out the porch at 12 years old looking for ops and doing all that craziness, man. But we know in the hood, it goes opposite. If you ain't in the street by 13, 14, 15, they look at you weird, you know what I mean? Now, this is a favorable piece that they're doing on him right here, you know what I mean? Like, even the images that they use, they show him as an artist, they show, and hopefully y'all are looking at the deeper, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll be looking too deep, but you know, that's me, you know what I'm saying? But look at that. They show a picture of him outside the Boys and Girls Club or the Capitol area. So it got you thinking like, man, maybe he's not that bad of a guy, man. Maybe he really wasn't. All right, man. So we'll cut that off there. Now, what it looks like is Sheff G got a favorable deal, man. Now, he's just going to have to walk on eggshells like most of these rappers, man. He's going to do his little time behind bars, and he's going to come back and have a long stint, or 5 years. So a pretty long stint on probation, which is crazy, man. I mean, a lot of people comment on that. It seems like when it comes to that probation, that's dang near, and I want to cut the background music so y'all hear me a little bit. That's dang near a setup for you to go back to jail, it seems like, man. I mean, I don't trust it, to be real with you. You know what I mean?
Bruh.
But if you play your cards right, you'll be all right. You'll be all right, man. So we wishing Sheff G the best. I'm going to get some people to chime in on that topic in a little bit. I want to talk about that. And actually, man, before we get to that, I just want to play, man, if this video don't play right.
Did he decide to take your advice or you don't know?
I don't know. He ain't take my advice. He ain't responding no back to me because this was on a tablet. He on the jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't responding to nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches.
All right, you might have been sideswiped or be wondering what in the world did I just, and I brought it in way too early, whatever, is a video where OTF Vonni, now we talked about OTF Vonni a few days ago, well, a couple of days ago. We talked a little bit about OTF Vonni. I want to say it was Sunday night or Sunday morning where we went live. And the deal with OTF Vonni is there's people out here trying to make it seem like he's out here telling. Crazy part about it, similar to the KSOO situation, it don't seem like OTF Vonni's dad is making this situation any better. Because he talked to one of the one of the people who are out there who does a lot of this fact checking, dirt digging out there on social media. And she did a phone call with him and they recorded it obviously. And he had some weird things to say. So I want you to hear what OTF Vonni's dad had to say.
Did he decide to take your advice or you don't know?
I don't know. He ain't take my advice. He ain't responding no back to me because this was on a tablet. He on the jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't responding to nothing else to him. I told.
Now I'm gonna let this play through, but just to decode a little bit of that, this is allegedly OTF Vonni's dad, and he's actually, according to this post, reveals that Vonni allegedly orchestrated the shooting of Lil Pab and King Von's murder, which doesn't make any sense because from what I've heard is he's King Von's cousin. Now I saw this online and I was amazed because the big platforms, they were all out here putting this out there. And I think that's what his dad is alluding to, but that would be wild, man. Like mind blowing to think about. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
But man, let's let it play.
He can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
I thought they was gonna say Trenches News. I'm like,
was it you that said that with the whole narrative about Vonni snitching with the text messages? Like that's,
yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
that was. Did he decide to take your advice or you don't know?
I don't know. He ain't take my advice. He ain't responding no back to me because this was on a tablet. He on the jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't responding to nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that with the whole narrative about Vonni snitching with the text messages? Like that's,
yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
That was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and other. And with me saying Von, some people like, well, he gonna tell them some on.
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell them no line. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab, you orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
But that was the tape.
Okay, in case y'all missed that last part right there, he basically said like you orchestrated Lil Pab and you orchestrated Von. You know what I mean? So that's the part that got people saying that OTF Vonni orchestrated Lil Pab shooting and the shooting death of King Von, man, because his dad is allegedly online with what do they call themselves? I want to say the fact checkers or something like that. And they record this call with him, and he basically breaks down the fact that he was talking with OTF Vonni through a tablet, and it's through text messages. So if you're in the feds or even in some state jails now, you can get a tablet if you got money, and OTF Vonni has money because he's been managing other artists, helping with managing Lil Durk and all that. So he's got some money. So he's got a tablet in jail, and he's texting, and he's talking about all these things is what he's alluding to, which is crazy. Nah, that's not funny. Hold up.
Bruh.
What is you doing? But that's what his dad is saying. So I'm going to let that play one more time before I start to bring in some folks and we break down this OTF Vonni situation and a lot of other details, right?
This was like from November, right? So did he decide to take your advice, or you don't know?
No, he ain't take my advice. He ain't responding no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on the jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't responding nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonni snitching with the text messages. Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and other. And with me saying Vaughn, some people like, well, he gonna tell them some on.
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Vaughn name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell them on. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated.
That's wild, man. To think that he would tell or that he would say this while being on a phone call is crazy.
Little pad, you orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
All right, man. So let's let that be what it is. I mean, first off, hold up, man. I got to give my commentary before we bring in some folks or bring in some people and whatnot. What in the world? Like, why in the world would OTF Vonni, first off, be speaking about this? Second off, why in the world would his dad go on social media and talk about it, bruh? I think KSOO's dad didn't open up the floodgates to where daddies think they could be out here telling, man. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying he's snitching on them, but god dang, if this ain't dry snitching, what is it, man? So, okay, now that we got that to the side, man, let's go here, man. I want to do this, man. I want to bring on some guests and hear their opinions about this topic because this is one that had me flabbergasted. I'm not going to lie. Where are my guys, man? You know what I'm saying? There they go. There you go. Hold up, man. OTMZ, man. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's the word, brother?
Not much, man. Not much, man. So I don't know if you've been checking in or seeing what's been going on with the show so far, but I wanted you to check out this.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Check out this.
Did he decide to take your advice, or you don't know?
Boom.
My advice because they playing.
First off, I wanted to First off, welcome OTMZ, man, to the platform again.
Yo, what's the word, Witty? What's the word, man?
OTMZ, one of the new podcasters out here who's been making waves in this podcast space. Made his bones with Pop Austin. Now he's out there doing his own thing, man. He gives commentary, and he definitely likes to check in with us, man. We appreciate your presence, man. Now, before we get to the other topics, man, I wanted to hear what you thought about this OTF Vonni thing. But do you want me to play it again?
Yeah, go ahead, run it again.
They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to.
Now, Zay, to preface this is allegedly OTF Vonni's dad talking to a social media influencer about what's going on with his case. And he's being recorded. And he alludes to some things that are being orchestrated by either OTF Vonni or allegedly Lil Durk with the Lil Pab murder and the King Von murder. Man, this is crazy.
Get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonni snitching with the text messages. Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and other. And with me saying Vaughn, some people like, well, he gonna tell them some on.
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Vaughn name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell them on. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab. You orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
Whoa, you heard that part where he talked about Lil Pab and all that?
Yeah, man, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm getting sick of these. I don't know what's going on in 2025, bro. You got dad snitching and like, what's going on, bro? Like, that's why we trying to tell kid coming up, bro. The streets watered down, bro. You can't even trust the motherfucker that gave birth to you no more. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Nah, the facts.
Where you come from, bro. That man, bro. It seemed like dads is the one telling that. Like, if you gonna be out here chirping and talking, bro, don't even get involved in it, bro. You sit your old ass back and stay in your lane, bro. Like, man, this is starting to irritate me. Witty is crazy.
It is definitely getting crazy, right? Because you would think somebody dad would be like, man, would know, I ain't about to talk to nobody on no phone about what me and my son are discussing about his case. You know what I'm saying? Are you crazy? You could be, number one, I don't know you for real. You could be working for the feds and be just collecting more information and more evidence. You could be doing anything, man. So just to do that, I mean, maybe they threw him a bag or something, or maybe he's just trying to get some clout.
Yeah, they tossed him a little change, bro.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing crazy. They tossed him some little change, bro. That be the problem with these people, bro, is that, man, these people from the streets and they ain't never went and got no money. You still, however old you is, and you still struggling, bro. So that's what you do. You don't get on here and talk about your son for a little piece of change, bro. These people out here ain't got no morals. They ain't got no. It's crazy, bro. They ain't got no morals. They ain't got no money. They just out here struggling. So they wouldn't throw anybody underneath the bus for a few $1,000s and for a couple clicks.
Facts,
trying to roach off their son name because they ain't never did nothing with their life.
That's sad, man, because, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to your son, like we seen in the KSOO situation, you would think that, I'm going to go ahead and, man, go ahead and live your life.
Don't even mention that nigga, bro.
Oh, we can talk about it later, man. We can talk about it later.
Don't even mention KSOO dad, bro, because that's going to make me erupt like a volcano, man. Fuck. Oh, I hope they catch that boy. I ain't never wished death on nobody, but I wish death on that man, dog. I hope they catch that nigga, man.
Now, did you see the testimony where KSOO was basically, he said they swore him off. They look at him nothing but a sperm donor, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Crazy, man. But with OTF Vonni's dad, man, like, all right, we've seen what we've seen about this OTF case so far, and it's just getting started. It looks like it's already stacked up against Lil Durk and them, right? And it seems like there's always been a constant search for who's the snitch, who's telling, who's out here ratting, because there's somebody ratting, obviously. There's
obviously.
Like it is listed in the paperwork, you know what I'm saying? Co-conspirator, who is it? Another guy.
Co-conspirator 1 and 2.
And 2. Yep, they're both telling. So people are trying to figure out who these people are. And a lot of people have, at first, it's OTF Jam. Remember that? Everybody thought
I remember they were dragging Jam.
Yeah.
He was wearing a wire. Yeah. He was doing this and that. Boy, they was dragging Jam. And Jam was saying that. Jam was like, boy, stop playing with me, bro. I'm a real street nigga. Jam out here like, boy, y'all stop. Boy. All right, when I get to spanking niggas, you know what I'm saying? Jam going about that shit.
That's why you gotta be worried. You gotta be worried about calling somebody a rat, man, or a snitch.
You better know for a fact. Yeah. You better know for a fact before you do that.
Because when they find out or when they come back on you, man, it might not be pretty. You know what I mean?
You see, that's what got Nipsey killed. And Nipsey didn't even go on the internet and said he told it to dude's face.
Yeah, and
he told the dude face, hey, boy, I heard you on some paperwork. Like, what's up with that? That nigga came back and killed him.
Yeah. And he was polite about it, to be real. He was kind of telling them, like, to watch out. Like, hey, man, watch out. You know, you might want to clear that up because there's some people out here who saying some things. You know, he was kind of warning him. He was like, and even Cowboy said that, the conversation that they had, or excuse me, was it Rempaw that said it? It was somebody who was there. It was either Cowboy or Rempaw he basically said that the conversation they had wasn't even like that. It wasn't like a heated conversation, but dude was kind of off anyway, man. You know, the dude, Shitty Cuz, whatever his name is, right? So he was a little off anyway, and he had previously got whooped up for, I think, something similar. People were talking, so he just, man, I guess he took it all out on Nip, you know what I mean? Which is crazy. In this situation, we know what technology is these days. For OTF Vonni's dad to be out here saying this stuff, what do you think? Do you think that, like, we don't know his dad. Could he just be some random smoker or something that we don't know?
This definitely could be that. It depends on who running the content. You know what I'm saying? If it's
Okay.
somebody from that area, out of that Chicago area, because we know Chicago got a lot of media personnel that hop on YouTube and do these type of things, then I would more so believe it's Vonni dad because they will have more information on who is really his people or not. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? With Chicago being what Chicago is, they get a lot of information. Like one of my favorite people to watch from Chicago is Truth Teller. So shout out to Truth Teller TV.
Okay.
You know, they are really tapped into that type of stuff that's go on in that lane. So if it's somebody from Chicago, then I believe I'm more so to believe, hey, this is really Vonnie's real dad. Now, if it's somebody from another part of America, then I'm probably not putting too much stock into it. But like I said, if it's somebody from Chicago, then yeah, I really believe that's that nigga dad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Are we at a situation where that cloud is just too appealing? You know what I'm saying?
It's for all ages. That's what's crazy.
I can't.
That's why I'm glad my mama is who she is, bro. My mama don't care about none of this, bro. My mama, you'll never see my mama jump on the internet. It don't matter what happened with me, bro. It don't matter what happened. You can't afford. You can't. It's no amount of money that I made my mama come on here and talk about me on the internet. You know what I'm saying? She's just not gonna do it. She don't like it. She don't. She not. I don't know, bro. It's like poison, man. It's like for all ages, for kids, for teenagers, people in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s. It's like, man, they just want the clout so bad.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
I think, man, that's what it is, man. I think it's as simple as that. It's like the clout, bro. Like people love that attention and they equate it with getting money when sometimes those ain't one and the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's just having the notoriety, bro. People want the notoriety, but don't want to work for it. Don't want to put in no work for it. They want it the easy way. So if I got some type of connection to somebody that, my cousin or something, and they out here popping, they out here doing their thing, and now something happened to them, so now they want to reach out, talk to me. Oh, this is my chance to get on. It's about me now.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's never gonna be about you, bro. All they want is some information on the person that they really want, and they know you related to them, so they gonna come talk to you, and after that, you going right back to where you came from, which was nowhere.
Yep.
You're not going nowhere, bro.
Facts. Like that'll never be a leg up, man. And that money that you get in the moment in those situations definitely ain't worth it, man. I can't see where it ever was or it ever will be worth it. Feel me?
Facts, because people think you finna get on here. People think you finna get on here and get rich real quick. No, bro, you got to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And if all you got to talk about is this one family member of yours, that shit finna fade out quick.
And we see it fade out quick with a lot of acts and people, man.
A lot of people.
Like a lot of people. That's not the method, right? That's what they would say, right? That's just not the method, man.
Yeah, that ain't it.
You know what I mean? Now, all right, with that, I wanted to get some more opinions on that, but man, I wanted to ask you about another topic since we got you here, OTMZ. I want to bring up another video, man. And I wanted to get this because we're almost working in reverse now. I want to talk about this, man, this Charleston White situation with Gillie. Now, I'll say this. Charleston White.
I knew they was gonna come.
Before we get into that, Charleston White has always had a thorn in his side for Boosie, it seems like. So when you see Charleston White talking about Boosie or celebrating the fact that he got locked up, what do you think? But before I get your feedback, hold that for a second. I want to play this quick clip for you.
I knew they was gonna come. I knew they were gonna come when you caught that pistola, got caught with that Roscoe. I knew they caught you with that regular Roscoe. I said, okay, time is ticking.
So what do you think? What do you think, OTMZ?
I forgot how it even started with Boosie and Charleston White. It was a little minute ago.
Charleston White has been on his heels for a while, man. I'll be honest.
I think it's because he was still doing the gangster talk and the rap shit. And, you know, Charleston White be going against all them people. But I mean, what Charleston be saying don't be wrong though. Like people just don't like the message. They don't like the messenger, and they skip over the message. They skip over what this nigga really saying, bro. And Boosie already knew, hey, bro, I can't do nothing with Charleston White. So Boosie never even respond. He just let Charleston White have it. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was getting into it with his son, I think who was it, Tootie Raw, even when he was going at it with Tootie Raw.
Yeah.
Boosie like, bro, no, it's a police ass nigga, bro. I'm a real street nigga. Can't deal with him. Let him have it. Let him stay in his own lane. So Boosie don't really give a fuck about nothing Charleston White saying, bro. But man, Charleston White don't be lying, bro. He don't be saying nothing wrong. Shit, I was expecting the same thing. Like,
yep.
Hey, y'all ass tripping. You out here in San Diego. First off, you already know these people watching you, bro. Everywhere you go, you get pulled over. You in Atlanta, you making videos. You yelling F the police all the time, bro. The feds, you just talking shit. You know these people is watching you, bro. So why get on Instagram Live from your page and have a gun in the back of your pants? I don't know. I don't know why you did that shit, bro. And now you got to pay the consequences for it. So only thing that I could really say that I disagree with Charleston White, what he was wrong at, was when he was talking about Gillie's son. But we already know, bro, if you start with Charleston White, he gonna go to hell.
Yeah. There ain't no like he'll go there. He'll go
to hell with it. He gonna go as low as possible. He gonna take it to hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of the same way, but just not on the internet because I don't really know people like that. Like, but in real life with people that I know that I had dealt with, nigga, if you start something with me, bro, I'm taking it to hell. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of really ain't got no problem with Charleston White. I be laughing at this nigga shit. I be like, damn, I'm the same way, boy. I be flipping the script. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, it ain't nothing wrong with well, sometimes it's needed because sometimes you gotta let somebody know they gotta back off or you ain't one to play with, right?
Facts.
Now, Zay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring OG Poed Up in here as
My
well.
boy, OG Poed Up. What's up, man?
OG Poed Up, man. What's up, man? We gonna get you. We want to get. I want to get you. What's up, bro? What up? Now, OG Poed Up is one of those guys who's making his way out here, obviously in the blog space. But I wanted to get his opinion on this Charleston White situation too. But before we do that, we get your word, OG Poed Up. I wanted to bring up another video that I wanted, and it's a little longer. We'll break this down. Cool?
TV is the feds. He ain't got me locked up. Remember, Boosie, you said that. If Vlad is the fed, why he ain't got me locked up? You got what your ass for, nigga.
This cat is crazy, Tom. This dude is he's a wild one, man. Let's go.
You got what your ass for, nigga. Now, God can also give you what you ask for. You want to be a hero to the streets. You want to be a hero to the ghetto. You want to be a street prophet. So God need a Daniel. God need a Daniel, Boosie. And who better to play Daniel than you? Remember, Daniel had to go in the lion's den, nigga, and show everybody that God is real and he don't get ate up by the lions. Nigga, God done chose you to play Daniel for us, Boosie. Since you so motherfucking gangster, and you got all these gangster codes and ethics. Nigga, put your suit on like Melly Mail, nigga, and go in that fucking ass, because you about to be sentenced.
Now, that's tough to hear, man, especially if you Boosie in his camp. But so far, what do you think, OG Poed Up?
Man, he just want anything to do for attention, man. Like I said, you can tell that nigga got insecurities. A nigga like that got insecurities because he don't look good. He's just trying to say anything to go viral, and we giving it to him because, like I said, we giving him a platform, you know. And I mean, we spoke before, me and Charleston White, you know. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of him at all. Because I mean, personally, I think the nigga's a straight goofy. You know, straight goofy. He's old. Then he's showing his body off like a female online. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know? And like that nigga built like a pencil. That's what I think.
Okay, nah, that's fair. That's not where I thought you was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it funky, man. That was a different take than I thought you would make. Because, you know, a lot of people in this social media space who see Charleston White and see that the levels that he's gone to with working with the Aiden Ross and the streamers, the money that he's allocated, a lot of people look up to him in this game, man. A lot. I'm talking about a lot, man. So you feel like, you know, you don't
looking up to that damn goofy.
Now that's different.
I ain't looking up to that damn goofy. You know, like I said, he don't walk the streets, so he not solidified at all to me. If you can't walk your streets without, you know, no gun, then I mean you're not solidified.
Now, in all fairness, OG pulled up, a lot of people can't walk the streets without their peace. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending on what state you're in. You know, some people, you gotta.
These niggas, Witty don't even be working.
That's true.
I think these niggas don't even be working out for real. My thing is, when you go to jail, what you gonna do then? You know what I'm saying?
True. That's true. And man,
I'm throwing up 250 on the weight bench. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, you know, like I said, I'm only weigh 180. I'm throwing up 250. You know?
Okay.
What about if I go to jail? That means I got my gun. You know, what am I gonna do without a gun? You know, I got to be able to fight.
That's true. And
but it's different out in the real world, though, mother. That's how it is. See, the prison world and the real world, that's two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? You can't think about the graveyard. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
And then these dudes got these little ass guns and stuff. Like I said, you know, they be showing these little pieces. Like I said, if you ain't got a switch or better on your gun, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what do you think about
you can't even shoot switches? I done seen videos of people try to shoot switch. They ain't hit nothing but birds, trees, and bumblebees.
Yeah, I didn't.
They be out there. They don't be hit.
Like that Philly. Did you see that Philly shootout on that porch? Did y'all?
I ain't see that.
Y'all ain't see the shootout in Philly on the porch, man? It was crazy. Like everybody had a switch, but I don't think anybody hit their mark, bro. Cause that thing,
bro,
them guns was popping everywhere. Like I was like, man, you know, you had girls falling on the ground, like shells falling everywhere. It was crazy, man. It was a viral moment, man.
Yeah, bro, y'all better practice. Y'all put the switch on the thing. Y'all better go to the range. Y'all better go to the country and practice shooting that thing. Cause motherfuckers can't even control that.
Now, what do you think about OG Pope? What you think about OG Podup's point?
They pulled their gun out and then it jammed. You know, so sometimes your gun can jam too while you in mid-action.
Yeah,
yep.
That happens.
It
happens a lot, but you know, it's not as common today. Because let's be real, these cats out here, once you look in the music video, they be having some expensive guns. They be having Glocks. You know what I'm saying? Like jamming usually ain't the problem. The problem is usually the guy who's trying to shoot. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, and that's crazy because, bro, it seems like it's so easy to get weapons now, bro. Growing up, I was born in '98, bro, so I grew up in the early 2000s. People weren't walking around with guns like that, bro. Now kids got the guns.
Yeah.
It's like it used to be hard to get a gun, bro. Like now kids got the guns. It's crazy how easy it is to get a gun now.
You
ain't got to get a gun. They making you a gun off a 3D printer. You can get you a ghost gun.
Yeah, and you know that's illegal in a mug too. You know what I'm saying? But it's happening.
Right. So now, like I got one of my homies. He's 13 years old. He got 3 bodies already. You know?
God dang! What in the world? Checking into middle school with 3 bodies?
Like that. It really be like that now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little crazy, bro.
It really be like that now. That's what's crazy. It really be like that. Like that don't even surprise me no more. It really be like that now.
But to OG Podup's point, man, when you get locked up, what are you gonna do? Because I'll say this: back in the day, most of the gangsters they looked opposing with the gun. They looked opposing when they went to jail. Like I'm talking about like let's say like who's a gangster that you would look like Tookie in his prime and Monster Cody. When you seen them dudes was on the weights. They was in the gym. They look crazy.
Witty, that's the era I'm used to. Nowadays, all these niggas want to do is get drunk, get high all day, and then their body look like shit. You know, if I take my sweater off, I'm ripped. You get what I'm saying? Because I be in the gym.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these dudes, they got insecurity. They got to hide behind the gun, and they got to wear big clothes. You know, they don't want to wear no white beater because their stomach don't stick out.
Yeah.
Nah, but all the nigga gonna do.
They gonna have a fupa. Nigga gonna have a fupa with a switch on them. You know?
Fupa with a switch is crazy.
If a nigga go to jail though, he just gonna have to get his ass beat till he learn.
Yeah. That's a tough learning curve. Now because in your mind, you want to go to
get his ass whooped till he learn how to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Because it takes some time to put some weight on, bro. Because you want to in your mind, you want to immediately go to jail already throwing them hands, dog. You don't want to show up taking L's, bro. And I see why, a lot of cats. That's why 4 Extra is such a menace, right? Because he ain't missing his weight workouts. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you hit, before his recent accident, but the way he's turned up, I think he's still gonna be a problem without a hand. You know what I mean?
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still think he can be a problem.
Them nubs still hurt. It's still some bone in that thing. Don't let it poke you in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Them nubs still hurt. It's still some bone there. You know what I'm saying?
And we don't know the extent, man. We don't know how much of his hand was repaired or whatever.
I think he only lost. It looked like he only lost like 2 or 3 fingers though. From the pictures I've seen.
Okay.
He a slave owner to me.
Okay.
And he like to show off his niggas.
For sure. I agree with that, but he's not loyal to any of them niggas. They all crash dummies. You might as well put him in the car, all them crash dummies, and go right to a brick wall because he's sending them right off. That's it. Right. You know what I mean? He's sending them right off.
He's sending them right off. Look work with the Rolling 60s. With the Rolling 60s, the Rico case with the Rolling 60s, man. Most of that evidence is coming from no jumper.
For sure.
That's true.
Too. I just got off the phone with him 2 days ago.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
Then he'll have one nigga on there, and then he'll turn around and bring on their op.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. That's 100% facts. You know what I mean? Like
what I don't like about this content game, content start messing with your life. You know what I'm saying? When it start messing with my life, then I got to protect myself at all times. So I'm sliming out whoever.